Austin Gayle here with Pro Football Focus, bringing you Washington safety Taylor Rapp. Taylor, it's great to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for asking. No one ever asks us how we're doing. That's rough. I mean, I'm glad you asked. I know you're out in Phoenix training with Exos. How's the weather there? How's the training going? I want to hear about that experience.
Yeah, man, it's so nice out here. Back home in Washington, it's like a snowstorm out there. So I'm out here having some good weather and some sun. Training's going smooth. I think I'm in the best place in the country to get ready for the combine. So everything's good.
That's great, man. I could say similar things about the weather in Ohio. It's been cold. It's been terrible. We're not super pumped about it. Wish I was in Phoenix. I don't know if I wish I was training, but I wish I was in Phoenix. So let's go ahead and dive into your tape. I had an opportunity to watch your Washington tape and a little bit of your high school highlights, and I got really excited because what immediately jumps out with me is you're a big hitter. You like to hit people hard. You like to bring people down with force, and I think that comes with a mean streak. I want to know where that mean streak comes from. It's not coached. It's not taught. I want to hear where it came from for you.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it just kind of instilled in me when I was pretty young, when I first started playing football. And football is meant to be played violently. And when you tackle someone, I always take pride in how you take that ball carrier down and stuff like that. I think it was kind of instilled in me when I was growing up too. I always felt like I was always getting overlooked, and I played at a small football city, so recruiting was tough for me. And I'm Asian American, and there's not a lot of Asian Americans in football, so I always thought I was overlooked. So I always had to, when I was stepped on the football field, I think I had to be unusual and be different and stand out. So I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, you definitely stand out. You're violent. You're a scary guy on film for sure. And I'm glad you spoke to kind of your recruiting process. 3-star recruit coming out. I know you had an offer from Arizona State in the Pac-12 and also Washington. Washington being where you were playing high school, I'm sure being close to home played into that decision. But tell me more about how UW has improved your game and how being close to family and friends has helped you develop as a football player.
Yeah, I mean, I think UW, when Coach Pete and when he brought his whole Boise State staff over, I knew something was special going on there. So I didn't want to miss out on that. And like you said, being close to home and just having that support system, I can always rely on and always go to if I have any problems or anything like that. I think that played a huge part in my whole college career. If I had anything, I needed to talk to, I was always able to talk to someone about it. So I think that played a huge part of my career.
That's great. I think that's fantastic to hear. And talking to other prospects that were able to stay close to their high school, I think they point to that as very valuable for their development and them able to kind of lean on a support system. I'm glad you brought that up. And that support system did a lot for you because you look at your overall grade this past season, 90.1, ranked 3rd among safeties in the FBS. You obviously had a breakout senior campaign. I'd love to hear what went into that. How did you really improve your game? Obviously only playing 3 years at Washington, but this 3rd year was something else. I want to know what went into that development, what went into that improvement.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think just going back to UW, I think every year you want to build on the previous year. And then, my freshman year, I was thrown into the role of being a starter in a secondary full of, first round, second round guys, Kevs, Sid, and Buddha. So, I was kind of, just thrown in that fire and playing where, I'm kind of still thinking on the football field and not playing as fast. And then sophomore year, I took it up, another notch and try to play faster and try to take my, the knowledge of the game up a little bit so I could play a little faster. And then even more so this past year, my junior year, I just, I tried to take my knowledge of the game, to a crazy amount. So, I can play fast and I don't have to think on the football field. And I think, that paid off tremendously.
You brought up some good names there, Sidney Jones, Budda Baker, Kevin King. You played with a lot of talent on that Washington defense, specifically the secondary. But even if you go, Ben Burkervin, Vita Vea, there's so many talented guys coming out of Washington right now. How did that play into your development? Obviously leaning on future NFL players to kind of teach you the ropes. I'm sure that helped a lot.
Yeah, so, going back to my freshman year, just being in the room, just being in the DB room with those guys like Kevin King, Sidney Jones, and Budda Baker, they taught me how to prepare like a pro and how to practice like a pro. They pretty much taught me everything in terms of the preparation before season, preparation before opponent every week, just stuff like that. Their influence on me was tremendous.
There's another name in there too, a guy that also chose to forgo his senior season, enter this draft, Byron Murphy. I want to hear your discussion about the relationship you have with him and how he's impacted your game, playing with him and the strengths and all of that. I'd love to hear your relationship with Byron Murphy.
Yeah, we're super close. We're he's out here training at Exos out here in Phoenix too, so he's from here. So we were talking about at the end of the season, and if we were going to come out or not. We talked about training together and just being able to push each other. So everything worked out, and we're out here training. We're pushing each other. We all have one common goal, and that's to push each other and get drafted the highest possible draft spot that we can get drafted.
Fantastic. Going back a bit to Pro Football Focus, in addition to the grades, we do a lot of pre-snap alignment charting, seeing where players both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball line up. You have over 300-plus snaps in the box, 500-plus at slot corner, and another 1,200 or more at free safety in your career at Washington. You kind of did it all. Is that what you see yourself being in the NFL, just do-it-all safety, or do you like one position more than the other?
Yeah, so I think I'm very versatile. I think I'm the most versatile safety in this draft, and that goes to show just what you were saying. All this pre-snap alignments. Where I was lining up. Third downs. I was playing pretty much our money position in our 6 or 7 DB package. I was coming off the edge or blitzing on the middle or covering a receiver. I was all over the place. I think I can do it all. I think I can play in the deep third. I can run the alley. I can tackle. I have high football IQ. I can rush the passer. I can blitz. I can cover. I think I'm the full package. I can do everything. So, I think I'm most versatile safety in this draft, definitely.
I hear you saying that. You can do it all. Most versatile safety in this draft. A couple names pop up. Derwin James, Jamal Adams, other guys that proved at the college level and now the NFL level, they really can do it all. They can play any position. They can cover. They can play the run, even pass rush. Do you hone your game or model your game after those guys at all? Do you see them as role models?
Yeah, definitely they're big role models, but I don't think I model my game after one specific player. I think I try to take a little tad bit from all the players I look up to. I think some of the best safeties in the game right now are Earl Thomas before he got injured, obviously this year. Just how much range he can cover and how he attacks the ball carrier, and how he plays the game. I think that's how you play the game. That's the way the game is meant to be played. And then obviously you're saying Derwin and Jamal, they're so great at what they do. Derwin can do everything. Jamal, he's a special player. And then even guys like Landon Collins, I think I take a little bit from everyone for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think your game shows versatility. It shows a lot what James did. It shows a lot what Jamal Adams did. And I want to look at your coverage, charting your 413 coverage snaps this past season. You allowed a 12.0 passer rating in coverage and forced 5 incompletions to boot. very good coverage ability. Would you say, you know, obviously you got run defense, pass rush. Do you think you thrive best in coverage as a coverage defender?
I wouldn't say that I in coverage that's the best part of my game. But you know, I think I definitely thrive in coverage. And, you know, that's one, you know, question mark that you know, the scouts and stuff like that, they might have on me, just because of some of the scheme stuff at UW. I wasn't necessarily in the best you know, man coverage reps and stuff like that, and I wasn't always in man coverage. But you know, I think I can thrive at that at the next level for sure.
Lastly, before I let you go, you spoke to maturity, and I'm glad you brought that up. I think tied in with maturity is leadership. You're going into a locker room, like you said, with grown men, families, people that have been here for a long time. But at the safety position, in addition to inside linebacker, some positions get tagged with it more than others. You need to be a leader. And I think, how do you describe yourself as a leader, and are you ready to be a leader in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm for sure ready to be a leader. You know, I think any team that wants to pick someone that's worthy of, you know, a first-round draft pick wants a leader. And you know, I think you know, I'm making huge strides at, you know, becoming a leader in my college career. You know, first year, going back to it, my freshman year, you know, I didn't necessarily have to be a leader just because of the guys around me, and you know, those guys were the leaders. You know, I was just trying to do my job and make sure I didn't mess up and stuff like that. But after those guys left, after my freshman year, my sophomore year, and this past year, you know, I really had to step up as a leader and figure out, you know, what I can do to help the team, and, you know, unselfish stuff like, you know, putting the team first and making sure, you know, everyone on the team is on the same page and stuff like that. And I definitely made big strides at becoming a leader. So, you know, I think I'm ready for, you know, whatever is next to come.
And I agree with you. I think leaders, more so than, you know, maybe not more so, but in addition to skill set, are taken in the first round. I think you have a very good chance, if not guaranteed, to be taken in the first round, given your leadership, maturity, and skill set. And I wanted to, before we jump off here, thank you for the time and wish you the best of luck moving forward. I hope the training goes well, combine goes well, and really excited to see how you perform at the next level.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you. And this has been Pro Football Focus with Washington's Taylor Rapp.